Imagine this. You're living tens of thousands of years ago. Food is getting low. Bad weather is moving in. And someone has spotted predator tracks near the camp. One person says, "We should leave." Someone else says, "No, we stay." A third wants to hunt before dark. 3 opinions. 3 different plans. But the group can only choose one. So who decides? And here's the bigger mystery. How did solving that simple problem eventually help humans build cities and entire civilizations? We're so used to leaders today that we barely question the idea. Teams have captains. Companies have managers. Countries have leaders. But humans didn't begin with kings or governments. So where did leadership come from? And what made someone worth following? The answer starts long before crowns and thrones. Early humans usually lived in relatively small groups, and leadership was probably flexible. During a hunt, people might follow the person who understood tracks and animal behavior best. Crossing unfamiliar land, someone who remembered rivers or safe routes might take the lead. 2 people start fighting. Now the group may turn to someone calmer, or simply better at settling disputes. So early leadership may not have meant, "I rule you." It may have meant, "For this problem, this person knows what to do." And that changes the picture. The strongest person was not always the most useful leader. Strength could help in a fight, but strength couldn't tell you where to find water during a drought. Experience mattered. Knowledge mattered. Courage mattered. But underneath all of them was something even more important: trust. If someone had helped the group find food, avoid danger, or make good decisions before, people had a reason to listen again. But then, the human story changed. Groups became larger. Picture 20 people sitting around a fire. If there's a disagreement, maybe everyone can talk it through. Now make that group 200 people, then 2,000. Who stores the food? Who organizes defense? Who settles arguments over land? Who speaks to neighboring groups? And when danger arrives, do you really have time for hundreds of people to debate? This was the real problem. Coordination. Cooperation gave humans a huge advantage. Groups could hunt together, defend themselves, share knowledge, and build things no single person could manage alone. But there was a catch. The more people you add, the harder it becomes to get everyone moving in the same direction. At some point, somebody has to organize the action. And then came another major shift. Some communities began settling more permanently. Farming produced food that could be stored. Villages grew. Trade expanded. Land became more important. And now the problems didn't disappear when people moved on. Some communities relied on elders. Some formed councils. Others developed chiefs. Later came commanders, rulers, officials, kings, and eventually complex governments. Not everywhere in the same way, and definitely not all at once. It happened gradually. But now the mystery from the beginning starts to make sense. Humans did not need leaders simply because one person wanted power. They needed ways to coordinate. And this may be the most interesting part of the whole story. Leadership wasn't an invention you could hold in your hand. It was an invisible tool. A spear could help one hunter. A stone axe could help one worker. But coordination could help hundreds of people build together, move together, defend together, trade together, or respond to danger together. That was the real advantage. And that is one of the bridges between a small human camp and organized civilization. Look around today, and we're still using versions of that ancient solution. A sports team has a captain. A hospital coordinates medical teams. Emergency crews have commanders. Companies have managers. Even a group of friends planning a trip often ends with one person saying, "Okay, I'll organize it." Different world, same human problem. So imagine your survival depended on one decision. What would make you follow someone? Strength, confidence, experience, or trust? Tell me in the comments. The first great human tools were not all made of stone, wood, or bone. Some were ideas. Leadership was one of them. A way to turn many people into one coordinated group. If you want to uncover another modern system that began with an ancient human problem, watch the next Why Kind story on your screen. Stay curious, stay kind. This is Why Kind.
This is Why Kind.